What if aliens knew all our secrets, even the ones about time itself? Imagine a visitor claiming to come from a planet light years away, challenging everything you believe about life, the universe, and second chances. Is he crazy, or is he telling the truth? This story will mess with your head, tug at your heart, and make you question everything. Today, I'll recap a 2001 sci-fi mystery film called K-PAX, so keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie starts with a mysterious man appearing out of nowhere at New York's Central Station. He's dressed like any regular person, but something about him feels off. Suddenly, he steps in to help a woman who's being mugged. The police arrive, but instead of thanking him, they arrest him. Why? Because when they start asking him questions, his answers are downright strange. After claiming he's an alien from a faraway planet called K-PAX, which he says is 1,000 light years away in the Lyra constellation, a man named Prot is sent to the Psychiatric Institute of Manhattan. Prot's name isn't capitalized, and it's pronounced like boat, with a long O sound. At the institute, Dr. Mark Powell, a psychiatrist, tries to help Prot with what seems to be a wild delusion, but Prot doesn't waver for a second. He answers every question about himself, K-PAX, and its way of life with sharp and detailed explanations. The strange part, his medical tests seem to back up his claims. Prot can see ultraviolet light, something humans can't do, and he's completely unaffected by thorazine, a strong sedative. Dr. Powell brings in a group of astrophysicists to examine Prot's claims. To everyone's surprise, Prot shows knowledge about the Lyra constellation that even these experts didn't know. He says he's 337 years old and traveled to Earth at 6 times the speed of light, a journey that took over 4 years and aged him by 7 years. Prot describes his home planet as a strange but peaceful place. There are no families, and reproduction is considered extremely unpleasant. They don't have laws, lawyers, or punishments for crimes. It's a completely different world, one that leaves everyone wondering, could Prot actually be telling the truth? Mark is married to Rachel Powell, who thinks he's spending too much time at work and not enough with his family. She feels like their family is being pushed aside. Mark also has a son, Michael, from his first marriage. Michael is in college now, but he won't speak to Mark at all. It's clear that Mark's busy life and choices have created a lot of distance in his relationships. Prot quickly becomes a favorite among the other patients at the institute. There's Ernie, who is terrified of germs, Doris Archer, who lost her mind after being abandoned by her partner and has been waiting 11 years for them to come back, Sal, and Howie. Each one of them truly believes that Prot is from K-PAX. Prot tells everyone he traveled to Earth using light travel, a method that lets his kind move many times faster than the speed of light. He says Earth is a planet still in the early stages of evolution, with a future that's uncertain. Prot even claims that when he leaves, he can take one person with him back to K-PAX. This news makes almost all the patients beg him to choose them. Prot gives Howie 3 tasks to complete if he wants to be cured. The first task is to find a blue bird. Howie is thrilled when he finally spots one through the window. It's something that almost never happens. The second task is far more shocking. Prot asks Howie to almost strangle Ernie. Ernie has a breakthrough during this, realizing that death is something he can't control, and he's finally cured of his germ phobia. The last task is simple but profound. Stay on Earth and be ready for anything. Prot's unique way of helping others leaves everyone at the institute questioning what they know about reality. As July 27th approaches, many of the patients believe they'll be leaving Earth with Prot at exactly 5:51 a.m. Eastern Time. Prot explains that all travel to and from K-PAX must be carefully coordinated, like air traffic control. Dr. Powell, however, suspects there's more to this date. It might be tied to a deep, painful memory from Prot's past. Adding to the mystery, Prot demonstrates he can communicate with animals, leaving everyone even more puzzled. Hoping to uncover the truth, Powell decides to try regression hypnosis on Prot. But before that, Mark invites Prot to spend the 4th of July with his family. Everything seems fine until the kids turn on the sprinkler and start playing in the water. Suddenly, Prot panics and tries to stop Mark's daughter from running into the sprinkler. He becomes so distraught that he has to be restrained. During the hypnosis sessions, Powell learns shocking details. It seems Prot might be an alternate personality of Robert Porter, a man from New Mexico who suffered unimaginable tragedy. In 1996, Robert came home to find his wife and child brutally murdered. Overcome with rage, Robert killed the murderer by snapping his neck like a twig, then tried to take his own life. Prot reveals that Robert had reached out to him for help during this time of despair. When Powell confronts Prot with this information, Prot only smiles calmly and says he hopes Powell will now take good care of Robert. Prot also offers one last piece of advice: spend more time with his family and reconnect with his estranged son, Michael. It's unclear if Prot is truly from another world or simply a part of Robert's fractured mind, but his impact on everyone he meets is undeniable. On July 27th, the hospital staff gathered to see if Prot will really leave Earth as he said. At the exact time Prot predicted, the camera in his room suddenly cuts to static. When Dr. Powell and the team check the room, They find Robert Porter lying on the floor, completely unresponsive. It seems Prot has left Robert's body to return to K-PAX through light travel. What's even stranger is that none of the other patients recognize Robert as he's wheeled out of the room. Something else is amiss. Bess, a patient who had been mute ever since her home burned down, is missing. She had asked Prot to take her to K-PAX, and now she's nowhere to be found. Despite a search, she is never seen again. Dr. Powell continues to care for the now catatonic Robert. He talks to him often, sharing updates about the patients Prot helped. Howie has a job at the library, and Ernie works as a crisis counselor. Their lives have improved dramatically, but Robert gives no response. Powell is left with unanswered questions. Was Prot truly an alien, or just a part of Robert's mind created to cope with his tragic past? While there's no concrete evidence, Powell doesn't seem convinced that Prot's story was just a delusion. The mystery of Prot and K-PAX remains, leaving everyone who met him changed forever. In the final moments, Prot's voice echoes in Powell's mind. He reveals that the people of K-PAX have learned a startling truth. Our universe repeats itself over and over, meaning every mistake we make will happen again forever. Prot urges Powell to make this lifetime count because it's the only chance we truly have. Moved by Prot's words, Powell takes them to heart. He starts to mend the broken pieces of his life, beginning with reconnecting with his estranged son. Inspired by the message, Powell begins living a better, more meaningful life, leaving behind the lessons Prot shared to guide him. So, which awesome movies should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below and let's make it happen. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on our movie recaps. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Produced by Warner Movie Recaps 2.